Hello everyone, welcome to this Tuesday, our regular Facebook Live. This is Bess McCarty, founder and coach with the MLM Millionaire Club School for Network Marketers. Today, I thought that the most helpful thing that I could share with you would be how to handle objections, because that's what everybody's worried about, right? That could be one of the things that would make you shy away from making your calls or talking to new people, is how to face these objections. So when you know how to do this in a real foolproof way that always works, do you think that you'll be more confident? Do you think that you will talk to more people as a result? And do you think that you will know how to train your team how to do the same thing? Because they are afraid of the same thing, right? If most people who come into network marketing are wondering, who do I talk to and what do I say? And what do I say if these objections come up that I just kind of go blank and look dumb and don't know how to answer? So I've identified the top 19 objections for you, and when this video is finished, I will post that link so that you can go there and read more about them. But let's talk about them today. And this Facebook Live is for you to ask questions about these things or anything about network marketing, and to also share your tips. A lot of people do come on these with me and give me their tips that then I can share with everyone. So let's let it be a forum for that. And okay, so the top 19 objections. You will hear you will hear money. You know, not enough money, not enough time, I'm not a salesperson, is this a scam? You know, who do I talk to? I need to think about it, need to ask my spouse, what is this? How much money do you make? Etc. So here is a generic answer that you can, I'll give you two generic answers that will fit all these objections that you can always fall back on. You don't have to memorize or know each one, but I will go through each one. But right now, here's a fail-proof response that you can give to anyone. Hello, Kirsten, welcome. So the first of the two that I would like to give you as fail-proof response that you can give is, if I would you. And you feed that back to the person exactly what they want. For example, if they don't have enough money, if I could show you how to get the money for the starter kit, would you like to know a little about it? Or even if I could show you how to get the money, would you get it? I like that one because that implies action. If you think that person's ready to hear that. We will go through each one of the objections and give an example, but the second standard response I would like to give you is one you may have already heard. Feel, felt, found. So you can always say for each objection, I felt that way too. Here's, I understand how you feel. I felt that way too. And here's what I found and all about it. Thank you, Kirsten. So an example of that with money would be, I don't have the money for the starter kit. Gee, I understand how that feels. I felt the same way. Here's what I found. I found that I saw opportunities sitting in front of me, and I couldn't say no to it. So I came up with the money. I got the money. I found the money, or I made the money. There's a lot of ways that you can help them. So let's go through each one of the objections. Kirsten, I was just telling the people seeing this video that this is a place for questions. You can type in questions and also type in your tips. How do you handle objections? Or each one of these as we go through them. If there are no questions or tips that I can then share with everybody, then I'll just keep going. So I'd like to cover the hardest objections that you get and the most common ones. So we did cover money so far with these two standard responses, these two standard generic responses that will fit every objection. So we did that with money already. And what else can you say about that, about money? Another response could be, how would you like to have to never say that again, that I can't afford something? Another response to the money is this really about money? And ask them, because it could be their belief in themselves that's behind that. Another response to the money is after they say, yes, I would like to know how to get the money. Another response is you can tell them the many ways that they can get it. They can save it, they can earn it, they can cut expenses, they can sell something that's in around their home. They can sell it on eBay. Hello, Linda. Welcome again. So remember, Linda, you can ask questions or add tips and put those in the comments below, and I'll just share them with the viewers. Thank you very much. So other ways to get the money is to pre-sell the products out of the starter kit so that they have the money ahead of time, just like Girl Scouts pre-sell Girl Scout cookies. So those are some of the ways to handle money objections. Now, time is another big one, right? That's maybe the second one that y'all hear the most. And so you could use those standard responses again. If I could show you a way, a person says, oh, I don't have time to do this. My life is already pretty full. And you could say, well, if I could show you a way to do this in the course of the things you're already doing through your day, would you like to hear a little bit about it? Or the person says, I don't have time to do this. My life is just so full. And you can say, I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. And this is what I found. I found that I could carve out maybe 2 hours a week out of TV time, or out of maybe I would ask my spouse to watch the kids while I made phone calls. And we found 2 hours a week to work this out, and that's how I began my network marketing business, and it's worked well. So that would be the feel, felt, found out one. And again, just like money, you can say, how would you like, a person says, I don't have time. You can say, how would you like to be able to never have to say that again? So very much like money, time and money, I believe, are always never the reason. There's always something underlying it, because we all have money and time, right? Or we can find money or time, or make money or time. So if it's something that they really want to do, and you've really heard their why, and you can show them how they can get it, why wouldn't they want to make that time or make the money to get the starter kit? Why wouldn't they want to make it happen? So it's always another reason underneath, in my experience, every single time. So let's see. Another one about time, I think this is pretty cool, is how would you like, many, not everybody, but many people watch TV or do something that is not producing them an income. And yeah, we need to relax and everything. There's ways that we do it. But you can say to the person about time, this is, I don't have time. Would you be willing to trade a few hours of what you do now that does not make you money for something that will make you money and will make you more money down the road in the long run per hour than what you're doing now at your job? Would you be willing to trade a few hours a week of whatever you're doing now for something like network marketing, which will make you more per hour down the road than you do at your job? In other words, how would they like to get out of that box that they're in? Would they be willing to do that, to find a few hours to do that? So another one is, I'm not a salesman. And some people say, again, you can say, if I could show you a way, if I could show you that network marketing is more about educating than selling, would you like to hear a little bit more about it? And you can say, the feel, felt, found. I know how you feel. I felt the same way. I didn't want to come across as a weird salesman to my family and friends or to people that I know. And what I found was that it's more about educating people enough until they know enough to make an informed decision whether this is right for them. And if some people are teachers and they actually make better, do better in network marketing than salespeople do. So this is more about education. And some people say, if you're not a salesman, some people say back to them, then you're going to love network marketing. So, keep the positive viewpoint and bring the good news to them. Another objection, is this a scam? Thank you very much. Is this a scam? Is this a pyramid scheme? And then what they're really looking for is they're wanting respectability, right? So you can say to them, if I can show you how this is a highly respected profession, would you like to hear a little bit more about it? Or, especially if there's emotion connected with it, you can say, tell me what you know about it. Or it sounds like there's a story. What's behind this? What's been your experience with it so far? And then they can dump all the preconceptions or emotional things that they've experienced or heard about, or that their brother went through or whatever. But at least you'll know where they're coming from that way. So, and you can also say the feel, felt, found. I feel the same way. I had this great idea that network marketing was, a low life a thing that I would stay away from. But when I felt that way too, and but when I researched it, I found all of the famous people who validate network marketing, including Richard Branson, Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, Warren Buffett. And I figured these guys must know something. In fact, some of them are in companies or own companies, and there must be a good reason for that. So I looked more into it and found it's a very respectable profession. You can also, there's a lot of generic validations of network marketing, little videos that you can also send them as well. So remember to follow up an objection very quickly with a tool, such as a video that validates network marketing or that answers whatever objection that they have. So another one, feel free to type any objections that you worry about facing, you have a tough time with, you have a question about, or any tips that you have, and I can share them from the comments with everybody. So, okay, we're going to move down this list of the top objections that you hear. And here's another one. I have to think about it. So what do you say to that? Like a lot of people, that's their brick wall that they hit, right? They don't know what to say after that. This is what I like to say is, even though I'm not in a networking company, I just teach it, and of course I was full-time for years. But this is what I like to say to people who are saying this about my coaching, that they need to think about my coaching or any of these things, right? I get the same objections when I am helping people to a better life, and I want to help them, and I want to coach them or invite them into my school as my students. So I hear all of these objections as well. So here's one that I hear too. I have to think about it. And I can say, you can say, what do you need to know if this is right for you? In other words, what do you need? And you can also say, what questions do you still have? And the thinking. Another one. If the person is, if you're not sure if this is, the person says, I need to think about it. And what you can say is, the best way to find out if this is for you is to actually test drive it. If I could show you a way to do that at no risk to you, in other words, they get their money back within a month if they decide that they don't want to do this. If I could show you how to do this at no risk to you, would you like to try it? Hello, Donna, welcome. Okay, another objection. I have to ask my spouse, right, my husband or my wife. And what you can say to that is, great. Let's the three of us have coffee and talk it over, and I can answer any questions that they have. Or let's get on a phone call together. I'd love to talk with them too and be there to address anything that they're concerned about. So quickly get the spouse involved and give them the tools, of course. Another one is, what is it? And that's where some network marketers, they kind of freeze up because they expect the pyramid scheme objection coming right on the heels of that or something like that. So just relax. This is a respectable profession, and what you can say when they say, what is it? You'll come up with your own answer, but I like this one, and that is, I am a rep for such and such company, a health company, a nutrition company, a skincare company, a utilities company, and I train other people to be reps also. Or another one could be, I work from home for an international company, and I train other people to do this too. So those are some of the things. Donna, I'm inviting questions or tips that then I can read to the viewers and share with everyone. So if anyone has one, you're welcome to type it in. Otherwise, I'm going to keep going. I will have a link for you to find these things on a website when I'm finished. So, okay, another big one is, how much do you make? And that will like freezes up network marketers, right? Because they don't want to admit that they're just starting or beginning to build their business. So until you have a story, you can use other people's stories. And you can say, I'm just starting out, but I'm on track to make, $30,000 a month like my sponsor does. So use another person's story. Another idea for this is Big Al Schreiter. You may have heard this one. I don't know. I haven't finished collecting it all yet. And that is the truth, because the effort that you put into today will keep coming back to you for the rest of your life, really. It'll keep rolling and exponentially adding, and the people you talk to today, they will talk to, and they will talk to, and they will talk to. So it's like a domino effect that just keeps going forever, and you will never stop collecting. The effort and the work and the people you put out, the effort you put out today is going to keep paying you down the road exponentially, greater and greater. So it's true. You don't know. You don't know how much this has made you yet, and you won't, because there's no end to it. And that's the really cool thing. If you can explain that to them, the residual income keeps compounding and adding exponentially every year, every day. And there's no ceiling to your income, so you haven't seen the end of it yet. That's a wonderful selling point. And another one is to realize, whenever you feel put on the spot, turn it around and become interested in them and say, what are they really, really interested in? What are they really asking? Well, what that person's really asking is, how much can I make with it? So, how much do you make? They want to see what's possible. They want to see a track record and facts, not just theory. Oh, you can make this and this, and 5 get 5 get 5, They want to see what you are doing. So, if you don't have a great story to tell, you can tell someone who is. So this is true. They just won't want to hear comp plans and theories. They want to hear facts. And they want to know, really, how much can I make? So a good question to follow that up is to ask them, sounds like money is important to you. How much would you like to make? How much do you want or need to make this worthwhile for you? And then show them how they can do that. How many hours a week are you willing to put in to work toward this, and how long are you willing to work toward this? Oh, great. Okay, ready to get started? So that's the closing statement. So objections, don't let them scare you. Another one, I don't know anyone. So let's go to our standard responses again. If I could show you a way, if I could show you how you probably know more people than you think, and how to add 2 people a day to the people, a list of people to talk to. Or let's see, if I could show you how you know more people than you think, would you like to know a little bit about that? I know how you felt. I felt the same way until I sat down and made a little list out with my sponsor, and I realized that I know hundreds of people. My list actually came up to a few hundred people. And then she showed me a way to add 2 people a day to my list, and showed me also an article by Bess McCarty that has 9 places where you can find prospects. So guess what? I never run out of people anymore to talk to. It is unlimited. And that article showed me how to do that. Let's see. Another objection. Only people at the top make money. And what you can say is, if I could show you how everyone in network marketing has an equal opportunity, you get paid what you're worth, and often that's more than your sponsor makes. Would you like to know a little bit more about it? Or, I felt the same way. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. And what I found out was that network marketing is really the only business that I see in the world that really only directly pays you what you're worth and for the effort that you put in, and that everyone can reach multi-million-dollar a year incomes. There's no you can be the person at the top. What my friend Robert Hollis says to this is, yeah, and I'm that guy. And you can be that guy, the top of your own little pyramid, you're the top of your own little structure. And the people at the top do not keep you from rising up like a corporate they do, because there's only so many places at the top. Well, network marketing is unlimited places at the top, and it's more like an inverted pyramid. So it's really unlimited. Okay, I don't want to bug family and friends, right? You've heard that. Objection from your recruits, from your prospects. And so what do you say to that? Well, two things. I like to respond with, if I could show you a way to talk to your family and friends in a way that they will like how you talk with them, and they will feel respected, would you like to know a little bit about that? Because that's what they're really saying is right. They don't want to bother people or become unfriends with the people that they are. So if I could show you how a way to do this that they would enjoy and welcome, would you like to hear a little bit more about that? And the second idea is, if I could show you a way to do this with never having to speak to family and friends, would you like to hear a little bit about that? Because some people have already approached their family and friends too many times, maybe with 20 other opportunities, and their ears are closed, and they know that. So then the strategy is, if I could show you how to do this aside from your family and friends and make your success, and then go back to them and say, well, I did it. Are you in now? Are you interested now? Would you like to hear a way to do that? So yes, they can do it. There's other ways to do it. So be sure and let them know that option. Okay, I tried it, it didn't work. That would be similar to, the pyramid scheme. Well, tell me about that. Let's see if we could use the two standard objections. If I could, well, first you want to find out more about that, right? Tell me about that. What happened? Tell me your story. Do you think, as Eric Worre says, do you think that this was due to you or a lack of proper training? Would you be willing to try this again with the proper training, such as skills? And they might say yes to that. And you can also do the feel, felt, found. Gee, I know how you feel. I felt the same way. I thought that network marketing wasn't for me because I did try it, and I couldn't get anyone to look at my business, so I just decided it wasn't for me. I'm not a salesman. But then I found a sponsor who believed in me and was willing to give me the proper training, which I didn't have the first time around, so I got discouraged. But this time it's working, and I'd be glad to. This is what I teach my people as well. If it works for me, I know it will work for anyone else. So that's what you can say to that objection. I have a good job already. So this actually happened to someone I know. One of my students got that objection, and she said, my neighbor said the same. This is a feel felt, sort of like a feel felt found. My neighbor said the same thing. Then he got laid off from his company. Totally shocked him. He did not see that coming. Totally unexpected. So he did not have a plan B in place. And now he's building a network marketing company with me, so that he will have a plan B in place. At his new job, he knows that he could be laid off as well, and he's not counting on it like he was before. He really thought he was set for life before, and a lot of people are. In this economy, it's not a wise assumption to make. The wise people are having a plan B. Even very professional people are doing this business. For example, if you have a health business, even chiropractors and doctors and health coaches are doing this network marketing, my exact company, as a plan B on the side, as job security. And for many of them, this plan B begins to exceed their current income. And then they have a choice whether they keep doing that career or just invest themselves and completely dedicate themselves to this company. That they have that choice, or they could have two incomes. So those are some ways to handle that one. I can get the product cheaper. Hello, Vincent. Welcome. We're taking questions and tips if you'd like to type any in. I can get the product cheaper. And a response to that could be, does the difference between price and value matter to you? So let them know that that the prices, that what you're saying is that the value of the quality of what you're offering is comparable to the price. And great if they can get that cheaper, but is it of the same value? And also they can get this wholesale, and also they can make money with it, which they can't with that other product that they buy in the store, can they? So there are more objections. I have a script for these. I'm not going to continue with these, but there are about 5 or 6 more objections that are on my blog, How to Handle the Top 19 Objections, as well as the scripts that I just went through now. So when this Facebook Live ends, I will put the link on the post, and you can always check that one out. Hey, Vincent, thank you. Good stuff, he says. Thank you very much. This has come from years and years of gathering the best ways to handle these objections. And this blog that I'm going to post, feel free to share this with your team. It's generic. It's good training for everyone. I am generic. I am safe. I'm not in a network marketing company. I was for full-time for years. Now I'm dedicated just to coaching. And in my School for Network Marketers, the MLM Millionaire Club, it is also a safe place to be because there's a strict no recruiting zone in there. So the students learn from each other, coming from different companies. We mastermind, we train, we role play together. I throw objections at them, just like on our weekly calls. It's really fun. That's the most fun part of my school. They get weekly email lessons, and we practice and role play that on the weekly calls. And I throw tough objections at them, and they role play and practice, or maybe they'll throw them at me so I can demonstrate how to handle anything. I want you to never be afraid of an objection again, and know that there's an answer for every one of them. Just help the person to think outside their box. Now, just to summarize, I'll summarize the 2 basic responses that I gave you at the very beginning of this call. And that is, number 1, you can always say, if I would you. Like whatever's bothering them, you say, if I could show you how to get around that obstacle, would you like to hear a little bit more about it? And I think a little bit more is a safe thing to say because it means you're not going to avalanche them with too much information. And the second thing that you can, I'll read Donna's comment here. Donna Doherty says, I hope I'm saying your name right. Hello, Chris, welcome. Donna says, I do role play with my team on how they talk to prospects and possible customers. Excellent, excellent. That is wonderful. Do you do that on phone calls, or do you do it in teleclasses, or do you do it in person? How do you role play with your team, I wonder? But that's a good trainer if you do, because the practicing will get people confident to go out and talk with people. There's 2 ways to learn, and that is by reading it and studying it, but the main one is to go out and do it, right? And when we practice with people, that gives them a safe way to do it where they're not going to be laughed at, they're not going to lose a prospect because they did it wrong. They can make their mistakes with us, right? With their sponsor, or in my case, with me as a coach in my school. So, and Zulibi Turner says, is there a best and worst network marketing business? Wow. Is there a best and a worst? I don't know. I have so many favorites. Okay, good question. It sounds like maybe you are looking to choose a network marketing business for yourself. Is there a best and a worst? I'm guessing that you're asking for names or types. One way to choose, I'll post another blog that I wrote, How to Choose a Network Marketing Company. I think maybe that will help. If you are looking at companies, okay, we'll stay with Zalibi's. Thank you, Don. I'll get to your comment in just a minute. We'll stay with Zalibi's question about network marketing companies, and I'll go to Donna. So Zalibi, if I'm saying your name right, best way to choose a network marketing company. I will put that blog. It's a very complete checklist that I have that you can put a company through to make sure they will be the right company for you. But one tip is to go to Google and type in the top 10 or the top 25 network marketing companies in the world. And those will be ones that are kind of proven and that have a proven track record, and you might want to choose between those. I'd say the worst, how to spot a worst network marketing company would be one whose leadership you did not like, that you got a bad feeling about their, or not a good feeling, about their leadership, about their staff at the company. If you get a feeling they're more interested in the business or the profit than they are about you or their customers, that would be a bad network marketing company. If you got a feeling that they are selling distributorships more, they are emphasizing that more than the product and what the product can really do to help people, then that would be a bad feeling for me, a red flag for me. Other than that, check out the company leadership. You have to love the product, of course, and hopefully you want to share it, even if you weren't making any money from it. Hopefully you would. So I hope that helps. I'll also post for you, Zalibe, my blog about how to choose a company. So Donna says, okay, I do the practicing on video calls, messenger, and email, so it gives them different ways of doing it. Yes, I actually would not recommend that they handle objections by email. Hopefully they move the conversation to a phone, that they use email, text, or messenger to move that conversation to a phone call. I would really be leery of trying to handle objections by text, messenger, or email, because people misunderstand it. You don't get the tone inflection. And of course, video calls is best, right? Video, and then second, phone calls, so that they can see you and get to know, like, and trust you, and you can understand them better and how to answer that objection. So, but good for you for doing the practices with them. Here's another suggestion for doing practices. Get in teams of 3, especially if you're, in a meeting or in each other's physical location. Or you can do a video call this way with 3 people as well, like on Zoom, let's say. Get in groups of 3 and have one person be the prospect, one the distributor, and one the observer. And then after they do the objection, the response, and they're complete, then get feedback from all 3, starting with the person who's the prospect first, then the person who played the distributor, and then from the observer. And then rotate roles till everybody has a chance to be all 3. Hopefully for each of the 19 objections. You could run off a copy of that my 19 objections article, which I'm going to post in a few minutes, and have them practice each of the 19 objections and rotate in 3s. So that would be 3 sets with each of the 19 objections. I think that would give them lots of really, really good training. Can you imagine how confident they would feel after that, and how much they have better results, and they'd enjoy it more, and they'd talk to people more. So this can really help your team. Les, welcome, Les Gardner. And Zulibi says thanks. Okay, any other questions or comments? This has been a fun call. I thought it was one that people really needed. Yeah, so practicing. gives your people the confidence. That's what network marketers lack the most, right? Fear is what stops people from making calls. Fear of being rejected, not saying the right thing. So when you practice, the skills are 20% of success, mindset's 80. However, we spend more time in my school on the skills because they are absolutely necessary. And that's where people need the training. That's where they start getting the confidence and get beyond their fears. And then they end up talking to more people and they like it, right? They can't wake up. They wake up and can't wait to get to it. And people like it and people like them. So that's what practicing does. So good job, Donna. Have you found that, Donna, have you found that this increases activity in your team, in your group? Do you find that they go out and talk to people more or have better results or enjoy themselves more? Those are all outcomes that we hope for. I'll just sort of wait for your response here. Anybody else have a question, a comment about how they handle objections, or a question about that, or anything else? Okay, I'll just see if there's anybody else who wants to comment. You know, you guys are holding gold in your hands. People need this in this economy. Absolutely. People need you. They're all around. Maybe we'll talk about that on the next call. You're needed. Go do good. Get out there and do good. Help people have better lives. Save them from desperate situations. Save them from discouraging situations. They need you. You have it. Don't hesitate. Go out and talk with them. Remember, their objections are just a request for more information, aren't they? And Donna says, when she has practiced with her team has had better responses and helps take away their fear from doing it themselves. Absolutely. Wouldn't you feel the same way? They've had better responses and it takes away their fear. Absolutely. That's the result. Then you're doing it right. You're doing it good. You're doing a good thing. And you're practicing with them right. So I hope everybody practices with their team too. If you don't have a team, if it's just you, find a cross line, find a friend, find a sponsor, and practice with them. Of course, you can go out, but have a combination of the both. Actually, practice with your practice person. In my school, everybody we have a support buddy system, to where the students have a buddy that they can practice with and check in for accountability weekly. So that's real important. I hope that you have one too. And practice with them, then go out and talk to people and bring your results back to your buddy and get suggestions and improve. Of course, if you have a professional coach to do that with you, you grow really fast. But if you don't, actually, I hope you do. I hope you check me out. I hope you call me. Anyone on this call who hears this who would like a complimentary coaching session, I'm going to open that up to you, and we can do that for you. So you can message me on Facebook if you'd like a complimentary coaching session. What we'll do during that is we'll get clarity on where you want to go, what's in your way, and what you need to overcome that. And we'll allow 30 to 60 minutes for that. So I'll be glad to do that for everybody on the call. I'll open that up to you, all people who hear it. So I got a thumbs up there. Thank you very much. Y'all are doing good. Keep going. Use these principles. I'll post the 2 articles, one on how to overcome the top 19 objections and one on how to choose a company. So I hope this helps. Anything else, anybody? Glad you're here. Glad you asked. Thanks for your comments. Hope inspires other people too to practice. It's a good day, isn't it? Who are you gonna help today? Let's go help people. Okay, take care everybody. Bye-bye.